Peace to the family. Welcome to another Supreme Numerics offering brought to you by Mr. Westbrook's class. And this video is going to cover the February 2025 forecast from a numerology perspective, as well as the numerical vibration of the word February. So let's go ahead and get into it. So again, to recap, where we are in the year, we are in the 9 universal year. We're in the new month. Welcome to February, second month of the year 2025 is already here. I hope and pray and will that your January has went well. I know universally we witnessed a lot of craziness. A lot has happened in the first month of the year, but my hope and my will is that we all stayed on a higher vibration. And, of course, my thoughts, my prayers, my positive energy and vibrations go out to all of the people out there that may have suffered or may have gone through some loss, as a result of this energy, or regardless of the stem or the root of it. My prayers, my positive energy goes out to you, and I will that, February is a better month, and, that we just stay vibrationally high, for the rest of this year. And to go into the energy, this is the second month, the second calendar month. Put this up on the screen. Second calendar month, like I said, 9 universal years, second calendar month. And when we add up 2025 to the second calendar month, it adds up to a number 11, master number 11 universal year. And when we reduce that 11 down to the single digit, it's a 2 universal month, not 11 universal year, 11 universal month and 2 universal month. And the reason why I'll be giving you the frequencies for both the 11 and the 2 is because everyone is not going to live up to that master number 11 energy. Some people are just not going to feel like living up to that master number 11 energy. So you'll revert back down to the number 2, which isn't a bad thing. It's just a less intense energy. And if you recall, December of 2024, just a couple of months ago, that was a master number 11 / number 2 universal month as well. So if you recall, the energy in the air in December, it's going to be a similar energy, but as you see, when I bring in the other factors into the universal month, you'll see that there will be some distinctions between December and February. So February will be modified by the current year, number 9 universal year, as December 2024 was modified by the 8 universal year. February also be modified by the numerical vibration of the word February. And that's my opinion. That's something that I'm going to introduce and bring to the table. So, of course, we'll have many of the same themes between December and February. But like I said, the frequency of February will be modified by the universal year as well as the numerical vibration, because we use the word February a lot. Each and every month, we use the word February a lot. So we talk about the date, we talk about our plans. This and this happens in February. We're going to do this in February. So we use the word a lot, and the more we use a word, the more that energy or that vibration increases, right? So that's why it's important to look at the word February, which I'll get to in the second half of this lesson. I'm going back to the pad behind me, looking at the expression of the word February. But let's start with the themes for a master 11 / number 2 month. And I'll put that up on the screen for you all. I know it's a little small, but I'll express it verbally so you can read it and hear it, just in case it's too small for you to read. Now, starting with the master number 11, the 11 carries the energy of spiritual enlightenment and awakening. It's a time to take your spirituality to the next level. You might feel yourself, receiving downloads, spiritual downloads. So it's a good time to make sure that you're writing down those spiritual downloads, because those ideas, those innovative thoughts are becoming at a rapid pace. So you want to make sure you write them down so you don't forget them, and also write them down so you can take them from the visionary aspect of those ideas and turn them into the physical aspect or physical manifestation. You can build them into something tangible from, just the idea. The number 11, just like the number 2, is a number of understanding and compassion towards others. But with the master number 11, it's on a much higher level, much higher vibration and frequency of understanding and compassion compared to the number 2. And that's something that I'll be reiterating and reminding you throughout this video, the importance of understanding and compassion towards others. Humanitarianism, we're going to see the number 9 show up again in this lesson. You might see it over my shoulder. I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but you're going to see that humanitarianism, that compassion, that understanding towards others. We are in a month of companionship and love. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment. The number 11 on the challenging side is the number of hidden dangers and deceptions. So you want to keep your head on the swivel during a master number 11 year, and I keep on saying year, month, master number 11 month, and be careful about who you allow into your energy in your space, because some people will attempt to deceive you. Under that number 2 frequency, when we reduce that 11 down to the number 2, it's important for us to be patient with ourselves, be patient with others, especially during a number 9 universal year. It's especially important for us to be patient, as the number 2 is a challenge to the number 9. The number 9 might be pushing us to be impulsive. It might be pushing us to be quick-tempered. It might be pushing us to rush, but we have to take our time and be patient so we don't run into accidents, whether that's in, with machinery, making sure that we don't have accidents in terms of, when we're at home and, we're cooking and we're using sharp objects and working with fire and flames. And we also want to be patient with each other so we can avoid getting into, those heated arguments, those fights, because that number 9 is that energy of violence, that energy of war, since it's connected to Mars. And number 2 is that gentle side. So we want to make sure that we're balancing out that fiery side of Mars and that number 9 with that patience and compassion of that number 2. Now, that's not to say, again, I said this in the previous video, that's not to say that, you should let people take advantage of you and walk over you, but there's a balance. You have to know when to stand firm and assert yourself and when to fall back and say, you know what, you got it. But all in all, be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with others. Also, under the number 2 energy, it's a time where you may feel the desire to have companionship, to exercise teamwork, to be in relationships. and all types of relationships, not just romantic relationships, but professional relationships, platonic relationships, business relationships. It's a time where you'll feel the desire to want to have some type of companionship and work with others. Now, there is that romantic aspect too. It's a time of love, fall in love, fall out of love, uh, engagements, to be married, marriage, pregnancy, births, all of that, or all of those are common under a number 2 cycle. And it also happens to be February. February is Valentine's Day coming on the 14th. On the 13th, Black Love Day. That's the alternative holiday that I like to observe. Side note, I'm going to be doing a video on Black Love Day, history and numerological breakdown of Black Love Day coming on the 13th, somewhere on or around the 13th. So look out for that. And again, we got that double 2 energy. So we got the second calendar month and a number 2 universal month when we reduce that master number 11 down to the 2, and that and those holidays surrounding love fall under that number 2 energy as well. So that's an interesting synchronicity right there. So it's a time to operate with some finesse. Don't be too demanding during a number 2 month. Ask for what you want. Ask politely. Be nice about it. Be sweet about it. You attract more bees with honey. So ask and not demand during the number 2 month. In terms of health, on the master number 11 side, you want to watch out for your blood pressure, high blood pressure. Specifically, and that's tied to that number 9 energy, that challenging side of the number 9 energy. When you avoid that impulsiveness and you avoid getting into arguments and fights with people, that can help regulate your blood pressure. And when you stay on the positive side, the high vibration side of that understanding, compassion, and patience, you keep that blood pressure level and regulated. Now, on the reduced number 2 side, the health aspect to look out for is the gut health. So, being very wary about your diet, about what you're eating. You might be more sensitive to your eating habits during a number 2 month. We know we still got that norovirus going around. And it's oftentimes it's transported or people catch it through food or handling food. I know I caught it on New Year's Eve, but that norovirus and the flu, we know the flu, you get that combination of that upper respiratory with that stomach bug too in some instances. So I would say the blood pressure with the 11 and the gut health with the number 2, those are the physical health aspects that you want to look out for this month. Now, on the mental and emotional side, the number 2 is connected to emotional stress and sensitivity. Since the number 2 is connected to the moon and it's a water number, water represents emotions. So we have to make sure we're keeping our emotions regulated, especially during this 9 year when we have a lot going on, a lot of tragedy, a lot of death, a lot of violence. That could really tug at our emotions. So it's important for us to stay emotionally regulated. And that's not to say that for us to be emotionless. It just means to not allow our emotions to get the best of us to where our health suffers. We got to keep everything in balance. Now, I can go to, so let me switch out this caption and pull up the signs and the numbers of the people that will be most affected. Now, Leo, Aquarius, Cancer, and those born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of any month of the year will be the most affected. Now, whether you'll be affected in a positive way or a negative way, that depends on how you vibrate. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and vibing on the positive side of the master number 11 and the number 2, this should be a favorable month for you. But if you're not, then it might be a little bit more challenging. So just make sure you're vibing on the higher side of these numbers that I expressed to you in the themes, as well as the vibrations when I go into the word February and break down the expression of the word February. Make sure you're vibing on the higher side of those. And if you do that, then you should be ahead of the curve. Leo, Aquarius, Cancer, born on the 2nd, 11th, 20th, and 29th of the month. You should be ahead of the curve for this month of February. So let's go ahead and get into the vibration of the word February. So I'm going to switch out that caption. I'm actually going to move to the side so you can see how I added up the word February. So I just want to get this off of the screen. And we're going to start with the Chaldean system of numerology. So let me make sure I move in the right direction. Move this way. All right, there we go. There we go. Make sure my mic picking me up. All right, so we got the Chaldean system on top, and we have the Pythagorean system on the bottom. So we have the older, more mystical system of numerology, and we have the modern system of numerology on the bottom. Now, when I add up February in the Chaldean system, it adds up to a 27-9. So I'll start with talking about that 27-9. And dealing with the compound meaning of the 27-9. In the tarot, that is the scepter card, which represents intuitively devoted partners, counselors, and volunteers. So the word February on the vibrational level and the expression of it is here to teach us or remind us to tap into our intuition, which I forgot to mention with the number 2. Number 2 is an intuitive energy. So you may feel yourself being more intuitive during this month, or it's a reminder for you to tap into your intuition. And the vibration of the word February is reminding us again that we need to tap into our intuition. And the 2 representing partnership, the 7 also intuitive number to be approach our relationship this month of relationships and partnerships and teamwork and harmony and companionship, to be intuitively devoted and helpful to others. And 27 adds up to a 9. 9 again remind us to be humanitarians, especially during this number 9 year. Positive or the higher vibration of the number 9. The 27 in the Chaldean calculation of February is also reminding us and telling us that we need to be understanding and considerate, which I just told you in the themes of the master number 11 and the number 2 month. Understanding and consideration. We should avoid blaming others, being overly emotional. Again, that number 2, that's the negative side of the number 2, being overly emotional, having that emotional balance and regulation. Avoid those heated confrontations in those arguments and those fights. And in the 27-9 in the Chaldean system also reminds us or tells us to think for ourselves and follow the influence of our own thoughts instead of the influence and the thoughts of others. Now, moving on to the Pythagorean breakdown, In the Pythagorean system of numerology, the word February in expression adds up to 42.6. When I say expression, I mean the sum total of the entire word adds up to a number 42.6. Number 42 in compound numerology is the number of discipline, being a discipline and structure partner. The 4 representing discipline and structure, number 2 representing partnership. So discipline and structure partner, bringing about love, harmony, and balance. So when you approach your partnerships, relationships, et cetera, from a structured and disciplined approach, then you can achieve balance in that relationship and partnership, and you can achieve love and harmony in that partnership or relationship. And the number 6, looking at the single digit, that reminds us to bring balance to our relationships. And balance can mean a few things. Balance can mean reciprocation between all parties involved. That's how you bring balance. Number 6 in the supreme mathematics of the nation of gods and earths represents equality. Equality means to be equal in all things. So number 6 is reminding us to be balanced and to be equal in from the perspective of all parties involved in that partnership, relationship, or whatever it may be. We want to be objective in our judgments, objective when we approach situations. People who carry the number 6 in their name or birthday, they're usually very good people of judgment. They know the difference between right and wrong. They could go right down the middle with a situation or a conflict. They could be very objective in their advice. They're great people to go to for advice. So when people approach you this month for advice or for your guidance, you want to make sure that you're being objective. You're looking at all the facts, and you're not speaking from a biased point of view. The number 42.6 is deeply rooted in assisting those in need. Again, being helpful towards others, just like the 27.9, when it talked about being an intuitively devoted partner, counselor, or volunteer. Again, being helpful towards others. And then in this time, this 2025 year of the 9, this is a time when we need to be helpful more than ever. This is the time we need to be helpful more than ever to one another. We need to really look out for each other during this time. We always had to, but this is a time where it's more necessary than ever that we be helpful and not hurtful towards one another, and not allowing ourselves to be divided with all of the bullshit that's going on in the world. It's not a time to be divided, to be arguing and going against one another. And the last thing that I'll say about the 42.6 February in the Pythagorean system is that this month is reminding us and bringing the vibration of honesty and loyalty. We must be honest and loyal in our relationships. So that is the last thing that I'll say on the vibration of the word February. And before I sign off of here, I will pull up the reflection and journal question for this month. So let me switch over here. Here's a journal question. I know it's small on the screen, so I'll verbalize it so you can get it. And you can write it down, or if you're able to see this on the screen, you can screenshot it and write it in your journal for this month and write down your answers to it however you see fit. This is for you. I mean, you can share it if you like in the comment, but this is for you, your personal reflections. So the journal reflection question is, in what ways can I express love and be more compassionate and understanding in my relationships and interactions with others this month? And that is to say, any interactions that you have. So oftentimes when people use the word relationships, they think of romantic relationships automatically, but I'm talking about any type of relationships, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, working relationships with your co-workers, with your business partners, with your neighbors, anybody that you interact with, even the stranger on the street. How can you be more compassionate? How can you be more understanding? How can you be more patient with anyone that you interact with? It doesn't even have to be in person, even on the internet. How can you be more understanding, compassionate, and patient with people on the internet? Because people can be the nastiest on the internet, you know? So how can we switch that up and be more compassionate and more loving? How can we be more loving and express our love to the people that we interact with this month? And I do have a book recommendation. I forgot to put it next to me, so I might have to go to the shelf and grab it real quick. So yeah, let me go to the shelf and grab it real quick. But just give me one moment, and then I'll close out. All right. So here's the book. I just finished this book a couple of weeks ago. Let me take this off the screen. I'll put it back up in a moment. But I just want to show this book right here, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. Subtitle, How to Find It, Keep It, and Let It Go. This was featured towards the end of 2024 on one of our episodes of Unread Book Review with Nick and Rue. Shout out to my co-host, Rue. Today is her divine day, so happy divine day to Rue. But this is a good book that reinforces the themes that and the frequencies that I spoke about in this monthly forecast. So this book takes you through all forms of love. It starts out with love of self, the difference between solitude and loneliness, and then it spends a lot of time going into the romantic love. But what I really appreciate is that towards the end of the book, it goes into detail of how we can express love to the entire world, to everyone we come in contact with, not just ourselves, not just with our romantic partners, but with our co-workers, with our family, with strangers, with people that we may never even see or touch physically. This book gives you practical steps on how to spread love to everyone, regardless of whether you know them personally or not. So check this book out, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. So I'm wishing you all a great February. Keep your vibrations high. Continue working on yourselves and keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Now, this has been the universal expression of February 2025 and the vibration of the word February. Now, if you want to know how it's affecting you on a more personal level, you can book a consultation with me, and we'll go over your universal month, your universal weeks, personal months, personal days, personal weeks, whatever you want to know about how this energy is affecting you on a more personal level. So if you need that, just reach out to me, and I'll get you set up, get you good to go, get you right. All right. So this has been the February 2025 Universal Month Forecast and the numerical vibration of the word February. I will say I'll see you next month, but I'll see you for the next video, which will be the universal week forecast for the week of February 2nd. And then, of course, we got unread book review. We, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'll have that Black Love Day breakdown for you. Black Love Day history and lesson, and the numerological breakdown of Black Love Day. So look out for that as well. So be well, everyone. Keep your vibrations high and keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Peace. Peace. Wait, here we go. Wait. Oh, there we go. Yeah, peace.